Good afternoon to all the viewers and welcome back to ICCA Live, World Class Culinary Online. Today we have yet another interesting session on layered cakes, and it is on the crunchy and creamy salted caramel walnut cake. I will now hand over to our host, Shanaz Raja, Director of Courses at the ICCA Dubai. Over to you, Shanaz.
Thank you, Karun. Welcome back to our second webinar in the series Layered Cakes with Chef Maia Tsakanova. For those of you who are here for the first time, Chef Maia is from Georgia and has been part of our faculty here at the ICCA Dubai for the last 3 years and has been in pastry production for 12 years before that. Today she will demonstrate to us a salted caramel walnut cake. Do watch her carefully and pick up a few tricks on professional finishing techniques with buttercream and chocolate ganache glaze. During the webinar, our questions to you will pop up as polls for you, and if you have any questions for Chef Maia, do type them into the chat and I will take them up with her for you. Over to our very own matryoshkas. You can Google that. Chef Maia and her assistant Kamola.
Thank you, Ms. Shanaz. Good afternoon, everyone. Nice presentation of Chef Maia and my assistant. Welcome back, guys, on our second webinar. And we are really very happy that you have been with us last Thursday. And thank you very much for all the interesting questions, comments, and sharings. Stay with us today and you will learn something really beautiful and nice. I will be happy to do today's session and start with another, my favorite cake, which will be salted caramel walnut cake. Sounds good, right? Yes, believe me, it is delicious, and I will suggest you to keep everything what you are doing now, get comfortable and give attention on everything we are talking here about, because maybe we will ask some questions, who knows? Okay, now the sponge cake, what I'm going to do today, layered cake, it has 3 components: sponge layers, salted caramel cream filling, and dark chocolate glaze. Now, how to make a sponge? Guys, there is many different ways to make a sponge. Depends again of the techniques we are using. We will get completely different texture even if we use the same ingredients. So last week, which method we use? The people who was with us last week, I hope you remember, we used melting technique where we melt all our butter and honey. Today I am going to demonstrate the cake made with the whisking technique, which means foaming techniques. Foaming techniques is all about aeration of the eggs and sugar. First step will be, I'm going to use big mixer, guys, because I need my eggs to be perfectly whisked. I will place my eggs into the mixing bowl. I will add, of course, sugar direct. You can add from beginning all the sugar and start to whisk it until you will have enough air bubbles in your mixture and your eggs will be completely aerated and become foamy. Guys, I hope you can hear me. I'm sorry for this noise, but we have to whisk the egg first. By the time you are whisking the egg, guys, what is interesting about foaming techniques, whisking techniques, you will see the egg color becomes lighter. Why? Because egg have ability to capture air bubbles and keep in there. That's the reason why sometimes the cake is rising inside the oven even without any leavening agents, only because of aeration of the egg. So we keep whisking. We put on high speed to make it faster, to not let you wait for long. So when my eggs will be whisked perfectly nice, I will show you guys and I will show you how it has to be looking after whisking. Okay, it will take a few minutes. By the time I can add my little bit of vanilla. Vanilla will give nice, beautiful aroma to our sponge, guys. And I am going to add some honey. Okay, guys, if you are intolerant of honey, or some people doesn't like honey, right? It's okay, guys. You can substitute honey with golden syrup, which will again be fine. Of course, it will not give you that nice aroma, but still you can get this caramel sponge. So keep mixing. I for a second my mixer to clean sides of my mixing bowl. Okay, that is very important. All the time you have to keep on stopping, mixing the sides of your mixing bowl, cleaning up to make sure that components are completely mixed together perfectly fine. Okay, now, of course, thank you very much, darling. Yes, as you can see, we teach our students all the professional tricks because clean as you go, one of the things what we teach first our students. Yes. Keep whisking, few more minutes, guys, and then I will stop my meter, and then we can continue from there. Beautiful. Now, important thing again, the egg should be room temperature. Yes. Why, guys? Because in pastry, as you know, everything is matters. Temperatures, timing. It's not like in hot kitchen. In hot kitchen, much more easy to control. But pastry, you have to be very, very careful with all these small details which can affect on the sponge texture. Now, once my eggs are aerated, I bring it to ribbon consistency. I hope you can see it, guys. Yes, it becomes very light in color and I have a lot of air bubble. It means the mixing time is over. Now I'm going to fold my dry ingredients, and before that I'm going to add my leavening agent, which is vinegar and the baking soda. I'm going to activate baking soda in vinegar, and you can see it makes some bubbles, right? And I will put it into my mixture. Now, why baking soda with vinegar, guys? Because vinegar will help neutralize the taste of the soda. Sometimes maybe you have noticed when you eat a cake, you have that salty kind of the taste. It's because of the soda. So to avoid that taste, you add a little bit of the vinegar. Now my mixture is almost ready. It's time to add the flour. Flour we add in two additions. One, fold it, means we use a spatula to keep all these air bubbles inside our mixture. You fold. And another one. Once all flour is inside your mixture, we are going to add some oil, right, darling? Why we are adding oil? Oil or butter, guys? Now, butter increases shelf life of your sponge, which means make it much more softer. If you want to go with butter, but I prefer to add a little bit of vegetable oil. Why? Because it keeps the moist much longer, and it makes your sponge much more softer, guys, and gentle. I add my oil. I fold it nicely. Make sure you do not have any lumps of flour, guys. Be gentle, but make sure you combine it nicely. Okay, almost there. And last one. Here we go. Thank you very much. Okay, I fold my oil into my butter. I mean cake butter, guys. This mixture we call butter, which is already ready to go to the oven. Okay. In last, I will add a little bit of walnuts. And here we go. My butter is ready to go to the rings. Now, the size of the cake. It depends what you prefer. Yes.
Chef Maia, can you bend the bowl towards the camera and tell?
Of course.
John,
now I'm going to show. Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to show you now, guys. Do not worry. I know you cannot see because my mixing bowl is high, but I'm going to place it in the baking tins or rings. In professional kitchen, guys, we use this kind of the rings. This is 20 cm ring, but at home, whatever you have, which kind of tin you have, cake tin, you can use them, guys. It's not an issue as long as you get good texture and good flavors. Now, My dough, I'm going to show you the texture now. I'm going to divide my butter into 2 equal sizes, 2 equal amount. Can you see now, guys? I think you can see the texture of my butter. Yes. Once you are done, level your butter perfectly fine. Why it's important, guys? Again, to get equal layers of the sponge. To make more exact, to be more exact, you can use the scale, guys. Okay? Or you can bake in one ring, and then after baking, you divide your sponge into 2 similar equal layers. Okay, here we go. Now, I think you clearly can see the texture and color of my butter, which is ready to go to oven. We are going to bake it for only 10 to 15 minutes, guys, 160 degrees, and later we will check with toothpick. We place a toothpick in it and take it out. If your toothpick is coming out very dry and there is no pieces of dough, it means your dough is baked. Okay? Let's go. Very good. Now, yes, we prepared some questions, guys, for you. Yes, so just to check if you are giving attention and if you are still with us, and get ready to answer for this question. Yes, Ms. Shanaz?
Yes, I put up the question, and everyone has said ribbon consistency. In fact, this I think is a very important point of note when you make a sponge cake. Beating up the egg and the sugar to the ribbon consistency before you fold in the flour is very, very important to the volume of your cake. And this was one mistake I made before I joined college and learned to make sponge cake from my teacher. I used to get tired and do it a long before and use a lot of volume.
Yes, guys, that's a correct answer. Ribbon consistency, it means there is enough air bubbles and your cake will definitely rise, okay? Be sure that you get it. Now, I think it's time now to move forward.
Can you speak about the oven and the temperature once, please, once again?
Yeah, oven 160 degrees in preheated oven, guys, of course, and it will be ready in 10 to 15 minutes, guys. You have to check. Now, when we are talking about ovens, guys, we are always talking about professional ovens. At home, domestic ovens, guys, each oven bakes differently. So the timing is just guideline. You guys have to know your oven better than we know your oven, of course, and you have to adjust the timing. That's why I mentioned very important to check the pastry if it's done or not before you take the sponge out. Normally 10-15 minutes it's enough for this size of the ring. Of course, if you are making bigger quantity and double recipe, more butter, more baking time it will need. Okay?
About
preheating, any more questions?
Yes, there's a question on preheating. I'll just talk about it. Generally, if you don't have an indicator in your oven, a light to show preheating, that the preheating temperature is reached, then you can just do it 10 minutes before you are going to put your cake in. Just before you start mixing your batter, you can put on your oven.
Yes, guys, there will be time for questions. Yes, we already know you will have many questions, and we keep some space for you guys to ask the questions. Please give attention, write down your questions, whatever you want to ask on your notes, and when there will be some gap for questions, please give me the questions. I will definitely be happy to answer on that. Now we are moving forward, and we are going to make the salted caramel filling. Now, what is caramel, guys? Caramel is basically burnt sugar. Okay? Now, to make the caramel, you will need little time because it will definitely take some time to get ready. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make the wet caramel. What does it mean? It means not only sugar will be melted together with water. So I place my sugar into saucepan add a little bit of water and I put it on the medium heat. Now, when we do the caramel, guys, we do not need to stir it. We have to put it on medium heat and just wait for it. It will take a couple of minutes, maybe like 15 minutes to make it ready. Now, caramel is burnt sugar. When sugar temperature inside the sugar reach 140 degrees, what's happened with the sugar? Sugar starts to melt and change the colors, texture and flavor, guys. That we call caramel. Okay, so we are going to make the caramel, and after placing it on the heat, after 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, you are going, if you did everything correct, guys, you are going to have this color, beautiful, nice, golden color caramel. Already prepared in advance. Why? Because it will take the time, guys, and I know you do not have too much time to sit and watch and just, yes, here we go. I will just reheat it. My caramel color is there and ready, and then I will turn this caramel into sauce, caramel sauce. Now, the sauce you can use not only to make the caramel butter cream, you can use also this caramel sauce to drizzle on your ice cream, on your dessert, serve it with churros, serve it with anything you want, guys, okay? This is not only for the butter cream. Today I am going to use caramel to make a butter cream, but you can also try to use it for something else. Okay, we will need a few minutes to let caramel to melt. As you can see, caramel, when it cools down, it is like a glass, guys, okay? Very, very hard. When you put it on the heat back, and it will start to melt again, and it will become liquid again. Okay? Almost there. I will let it melt. You can see it start to melt. Guys, be careful with caramel. This is super hot. And if you burn yourself with caramel, believe me, that is very, very painful. So, once caramel is melted, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the whipping cream to make a toffee sauce. Cream should not be cold, guys. Why? Because caramel temperature, as I told, it's 150 and above now here. So to reduce the temperature, you can reheat a little bit your cream and slowly add into the hot caramel. You can see it makes a lot of steam and bubbles. Be careful with it to not burn yourself, and keep slowly adding the cream into hot caramel. Keep stirring it. Okay, here we go. Almost there. Yes, we pastry chefs are scientific, guys. Yeah, you can see which kind of magic we are doing here. Okay, and here we go. Yes, you can see my caramel is boiling. Okay, this is my caramel and toffee sauce now. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to add just a little bit sea salt to make it salty. Here we go. And my caramel toffee sauce is ready, which is going to cool down now in blast chiller. At home, you do not have, of course, blast chiller. You can keep it in room temperature and let it cool down by itself, okay? And when it will become in room temperature, come down in room temperature, you will start to cream it with your butter. Okay, we place it in blast chiller, my dear. And then we take our room temperature butter and we turn our toffee sauce into beautiful, delicious, salted caramel butter cream. Guys, you can see after cooling down, the caramel will have this color. Yes, this is very important. Why? Because if caramel is not dark enough, you will not get that beautiful taste of the burnt sugar. Okay? Make sure you get this texture and this color. Now, I'm going to place my butter into the mixing bowl, which is already soft and room temperature, and I'm going to cream it. Again, I'm going to do a little bit noise to make a little noise, but easy. And again, it will capture a lot of air. It will become very light and soft. Okay, we cream butter and we slowly add, in few additions, we add the caramel toffee sauce. You can see the texture, guys, beautiful. It's set and it becomes nice and thick. Again, do not go in once. Why? Because then you can break your butter and your butter can get stiff. Go in few additions. Again, time to time, stop your mixer, clean the sides of your mixing bowl to make sure the butter is creamed perfect with your caramel sauce, like this. And I'm adding all the rest of the sauce. We'll cream a little bit. And almost there. Yes, very nice. Beautiful. Yes, this is the cream what I'm going to use to layer my cakes. Okay, you can see the texture, it's very soft. You can see the color of my buttercream, okay, which is salty and which have the beautiful caramel in it. Now I will place my cream into piping bag and I will start to build my cake. But before doing that, you think that was only one question? No, we have another question for you guys. Yes, Miss Shahnaz? I think Mishan has already put up the questions. The temperature of the sugar, right, Mishana? Let's ask them this question.
No, Maya, they have so many questions that I'm typing and typing and typing continuously. Anyway.
I know, guys. I was sure that you will have many questions. You know what the best solution, guys? To come and enroll for ICCA course, and obviously you will be every day, full day, from Saturday to Thursday with us, and you can ask as many questions as you want, guys. We are welcoming you and we are happy to answer on anything you are asking, guys.
So not
yes, Mishana, do we get some correct answers, or I'm talking for nothing here?
Not all people have got it correct, so maybe because of the chatting that was going on, but 65% say
you are them, right?
Yeah.
And do not help them.
Absolutely, and then we have 30%, 100 to 110. So you can tell them the right
guys, very good. Okay.
Are
we done with questions? Yes, I think we are done.
The right answer is 140 to 160, and it's very important that you take off the caramel from the flame, or you add the, you be careful when you add the cream so that you don't turn your caramel too black. Like Chef Maia said, burnt sugar can be bitter, can taste a little bitter. That's it. Okay, Maia, over to you.
Yes, guys, very good. Mishana, no more help to audience. Huh? Last question, one question we had kept for the last, and do not help them, okay? Okay, guys, while you was busy answering questions and asking questions, my sponge already have been baked, and we divide the sponge into 4 beautiful layers. And if you will see, the layers have nice, beautiful walnuts in it, and they have small holes, which means I aerate my eggs very nice, and soda also aerate the sponge. Okay, this is texture what we have to get, and color, and it smells beautiful, guys. Unfortunately, our camera cannot transfer the smell of the cake, but believe me, please make it at home and share your feedback. Give us your feedback of the cake and of the flavors, guys. Now I'm going to build my cake, assemble my cake, which means I'm going to place the butter. Now again, as we are talking about layered cakes, guys, make sure the cream what you are placing in between each layer you are biting equal, guys. Why it's important on layered cake? Because on the slice, definitely you want to see beautiful, nice layers of the sponge and cream. That's the reason why I will make sure each my layer has equal amount of cream, so that it will look beautiful on the slice. Okay, very easy. Use your palette knife. You don't have to do too much. Just hold it and roll your cake board. Here we go. And then take another sponge and place it direct on top of your cream. Make sure the sides are equal and build it straight and nice, guys. This is also construction work, right? Yes, very good. Another layer, and I'm not going to show you full assembling. Why, guys? Because it's the same way we are going to assemble all rest of the 2 layers first, and then in the end you are going to coat your cake with beautiful frosting, which is again the cream, but make sure your cake looks nice and straight. Build it proper. Let's go. Yes. And like this we will continue our cake until our cake is done. And after that we will place the cake for a few minutes, like 30 minutes in fridge at home, guys. Why? Here we have blast freezer, guys, because ICCA is the school with the best equipment, guys. We have the best equipment, the best chillers and ovens, the newest ovens. Of course, at home you do not have this all luxury and fancy new equipment, but still, believe me, you can manage to make it happen. Of course, it will take a little bit longer. Let's say here we will keep in blast freezer for only 5 minutes. At home you will keep for half an hour, 1 hour maybe. Okay, but still you can make it happen. Now, after this, we are moving forward and we are going to make the chocolate glaze. Okay, here we go. Very good. So I will need the nice saucepan. Okay. Here I have saucepan. So I place in my saucepan the sugar syrup, the whipping cream, and a little bit of glucose. Now, why we are adding glucose in our glazing, guys? Glucose, you can see it's very transparent, gummy kind of mixture made from the sugar. Now, this is basically the invert sugar, which is helping the sugar to not crystallize during the heating up. So now we are going to heat up the cream, sugar syrup, and the glucose together. So if you do not have glucose, guys, you can get the invert sugar. If you do not have invert sugar, you can make your own invert sugar. What is invert sugar? It's basically sugar which have been mixed with little bit acid. Let's say if you do not have glucose, you can make it still at home. Yes, which is 1:1. You will make nice sugar syrup, sugar and water. Let's say 100 gram sugar, 100 ml water. You will bring to boil. In the time when it starts to boil, you will add a little bit lemon juice. What will happen with your sugar syrup? It will split. It will turn into a invert sugar, which is very good to use for the glazing. Why? Because sometimes I'm sure all of you have seen in coffee shops, or maybe you also get this kind of result when you glaze a cake and after 1 hour you see the cake is not shiny anymore. What does it mean? It means the sugar got crystallized inside your mixture. To prevent it, we are using glucose. Now I will place it on the high heat and I will take one mixing bowl. I will put my chocolate, which is not very high, have not too much percentage of the cocoa. It is only 55% chocolate. I will place it into my mixing bowl, and I wait until my cream and the glucose starts to boil. Once it's boiling, I'm going to add liquid on top of my chocolate, which definitely will melt the chocolate and will turn it into beautiful, nice ganache. Yes. Again, I'm repeating, for pastry guys, you need to have a patience. You cannot make it faster. Yes, you have to follow exact instructions, guys. That's the reason why you have this many questions, guys, because yes, definitely there is small details which can break or make our cake, yes? So be careful when you are doing the cake or any pastry, any dessert, guys, yes? Follow exact instructions. You will get the recipe, guys, after webinar. You will definitely get an email with the recipe and with the video what you are watching now, which will help you to go back and see what we are doing here and follow exact the steps. Okay, almost there. Now, while it's happening, I think my cake is chilled enough. I will just prepare. The meantime, I will wait for my ganache. Meantime, we can go for some another questions, Miss Shanas. What do you think?
Yes, Maya, but before that, just one question that everybody has been asking me. Everybody wants, can you describe how to make the sugar syrup? How much sugar, how much water, how long?
Yes, 1:1, guys. Sugar syrup, it's simple sugar stock. How much sugar you have, that much water you will mix together, bring it to boil, and that is your sugar syrup. Okay, very simple, guys. Yes, Miss Shanas?
That's it.
Are we ready to ask question?
You just need to dissolve the sugar in the water, and you can use it.
Yes.
Need to cook.
Yes, bring to boil, and you can use it for your glazing. Yes.
Yes, and it's in the recipe too. I mentioned this in the recipe.
Yes. Okay. Now you can see my beautiful cake already ready to be glazed. But before that, I think we have to ask a questions. Yes.
Yes, I put on the polls. I said let us give them a minute. So, what is the setting?
So, what is the question, Mishana?
What is the setting agent in the chocolate glaze? What makes the glaze set on the cake? Yes. So, majority of your group is saying liquid glucose. They are not thinking. They are not thinking.
Okay. Guys, chocolate gets nice and dense only because of percentage of cocoa in your chocolate. Darker chocolate, more dense mixture you will get, more dense glaze you will get. So as we are using 55% chocolate, my glazing will not be very heavy, very dense, and it will not be also very liquid. So chocolate works not only as a flavoring agent, chocolate works also as a thickening or setting agent. While we was talking, Ms. Shanas, my liquid is already boiling and it's time to add into the chocolate and let it melt. Keep it on side, guys, and give it few minutes to melt it. Yes, do not touch, just leave it on side, and after 2 minutes you can slowly, gently start to stir the chocolate. Now, after that, what you are going to get, guys, now chocolate, guys, of course you can get in any supermarket, in any grocery store, you can check the percentage of chocolate on the packaging. Normally it's mentioned 70%, 55%, yeah? You always go with 55, 54% chocolate to not get the very bitter taste of the chocolate, okay? So after cooling down and mixing the ganache, you are going to get this kind of glaze. Can you see it, guys? I think you can see it nicely. Yes, you can see it's nice and glossy. Yes, this is what you are going to get after your mixture will be mixed and your chocolate will be melted. This is a time for us to glaze our cake, which is very, very important time and scary time. Why? Because you have to be very careful to glaze it beautiful, guys. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready with me? Yes, let's go. I hope you are picturing there for me. Okay, let's go. Okay, how you are glazing? Always hold your jar little bit on top, up. Why? To let the glaze spread all over your cake. And now I will just take away all extra part of the chocolate because I do not want this thick layer of chocolate, and extra part will definitely slide off your cake. Tap a little bit to get rid of the extra chocolate. Yes, and here we go. Now, yes, I make a little mess, but it's okay, guys. It's a kitchen. If kitchen is clean, it means we don't bake, we don't cook, we don't use a kitchen. Kitchen is created to be little bit messy sometimes, but of course to be clean after mess, of course. Right, darling? Yes. Camila is our student who have done already her hot kitchen courses, and she was inspired by seeing us pastry chefs are doing such a nice, lovely cake, and she decided to come and complete her course and do one more step in her career, beginning of career, and learn how to make the beautiful cakes, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, any questions, guys? I know you have a lot of questions, and I'm really happy to know it because it means you have interest and it means you want to learn, guys. Please mention us if we have any questions. I would love to answer on them.
Maya, I'd like you actually to tell them once again about how hard the cake should be and what should be the temperature of the glaze, because I think this is a very important finishing technique for them. And also, I think it's very important to reiterate that the base here should be
the
very
cake, guys, as I told, the cake at home you will keep in chiller until your cream is nice. Now, the best way to glaze a cake, make your cake today, leave it over the night. After 24 hours, you glaze it. You will get better result. But if you are in rush, guys, and you are in hurry, you can do just chill your cake nicely, guys. Put in fridge, keep it for at least 1 hour to let this butter cream to set nicely, and only then you can. Okay.
Maya.
Yes. So
You have to
the glazing
repeat yourself.
temperatures, guys. Yeah, it's okay, guys. Internet is okay, guys. Sometimes it's happening because we are alive. It's a life. Yes. Not everything can go by the plan, but as long as you are here still with us, guys, it's okay. Forgive us for that. So now the temperature for the glazing, very important. If your ganache is too hot, what's gonna happen? Guess what? Yes, your cake is gonna melt. Yes. If your ganache is too cold, what's gonna happen? It will not set like this beautiful. So the glazing temperature should be 35, 40 degrees, guys, so that it will glaze your cake beautifully. Okay? Any more questions?
Yeah. How long will it take for the glaze to set? And how long will it take for the glaze to set?
You see, it's already set, guys. If your cake is cold enough and your glaze is not too hot, it will set like how many minutes past? Like 3, 4, 5 minutes? It will set, guys, already. Any more questions? Guys, think nicely while we are here.
And if it doesn't set, you can always put it in the refrigerator for a short time.
Yes, guys, you always can put in refrigerator for a short time, but do not freeze your cake, because obviously then when you freeze, you take it out from the freezer, let's say your cake. What's going to happen? Temperature change. Your room temperature is completely different, yes, 27, 28 degrees, yes. What's going to happen? Your cake will start to sweat, guys. Then, if you glaze, the water drops will damage your glazing. That's why I'm talking about very importance of the timing, temperature, and the techniques, guys, we are using. Very, very important. Now, we will need one palette knife to transfer our cake on the plate. This is last step of the preparation, guys, my favorite part. Why? Because we are going to make our cake pretty and beautiful now. Okay? Now, very carefully, once your ganache set, you are going to take the cake from the rack. I use cooling rack just to glaze my cake. And take it on your hand, guys. That's why I'm telling you, it's very, very, very important part to be very careful. And here I have roasted walnuts, guys, which I cut in silver powder. So just for decorations. And I'm going to cut half of my cake with these beautiful crumbles. Okay, walnut. I prefer to use a little bit peanuts, guys. Why? Because I love how they look on the cake. Okay, I think you can already see how the cake sides are getting nice and pretty. Beautiful. Be careful, do not rush, guys. Yes, you need practice to get this all, guys. Don't be don't expect perfect results from one time. It's okay, guys. Sometimes even we are failing. It's fine to make a mistake. So try, keep trying again until you get what you are looking for. Okay? I think all the sides are nicely cut with the walnuts, and we are going to transfer very, very careful the cake on the plate. Yes, here we go. Okay, I changed my gloves and I'm going to start to put some nice makeup to my cake. Okay, we clean as we go. Can I have tissue, my dear? Can you see the cake? Yes, you can see the cake. Okay, let's clean up the stations. Yes. And it's already looking good. Yes, guys? I think it already looks good, but I'm going to make it look even better, guys. Yes? Now, the decorations, guys, it's up to you what you want to do with your cake, how you want your cake to be looking. I prefer this design, but as long as your cake is nice and tasty, I think, yes, you can see it, right? Yes, you can see it. As long as you can see, it's fine. I'm going to put some chocolate shavings all around my cake. I love to make this cake on Christmas time, guys. Why? Because it's salted caramel, it's walnut. Sometimes I can add a little bit cinnamon in my sponge to make it more Christmassy, make it more special. Okay? So again, it's up to you how you to make a presentation of your cake. Not necessarily to do this. Of course, we have to use our creativity when we are working with pastry patisserie. Yes. This is chocolate chunks, guys, which you can get from any chocolate. Just scrap off the chocolate and you will get this kind of big chunks. And try to elevate your cake, go up a little bit to make it look nicer even. Okay? Oh, a lot of chocolate. Yes, as you know, every Thursday you forget about your calories and enjoy our webinar, sweet webinar. Yes, here we go. Beautiful. Now, a little bit last touch. Some walnuts, which I already cut in silver powder. Again, guys, nowadays in pastry shops you can find anything, and everything is edible, guys. Silver, it means, yes, it is edible, guys, okay? Even you can find some pearls, some chocolate pearls, some any kind of the small things to make your cake look much even better. So just check pastry shops, ask. You can even order online from some pastry sites, patisserie sites, and make your cake beautiful. Yes. Here we go. Little bit peanut. to make it more fancy, more beautiful, more special, guys. Okay, and I will finish my cake with little bit of berries, because on dark cake berries look really very attractive, guys. Okay, I think you agree with me. Second one. If you do not have berries, guys, not necessarily. Again, it's only up to you how you will present your cake. And I think it's enough. I'm not going to use all of that. Sometimes less is more, guys. Yes, sometimes stop and look and think what you want to do with your cake. If I go too much, then it will be maybe not this pretty and gentle and beautiful. Now, I highlight my cake with little bit of the silver dust. Okay, this is makeup for my cake, highlighter. Okay, ladies, definitely you understand what I'm talking about. Now men are thinking what she's talking about, right? But okay, here we go. We highlight the pastry with the silver dust, and here we go. Our cake is ready. Guys, as you saw, very simple, very easy, very humble cake. We elevate and we present it much more better than maybe 10 years ago. The same cake, some pastry chefs are using different kind of the decoration, but today we have everything to make it much more beautiful. Now, time for you to watch how we are slicing our cake. Okay, are we ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes, sir. Yes. Let's get some plates. Yes, guys, you cannot see, but here is many people are waiting for this moment. Yes, behind the scenes. Thank you guys for this amazing job. Actually, they put a lot of effort to let you guys see how the cake look. They work hard to give you exact information what I'm trying to tell you guys. Thank you guys very much, and you really deserve one slice of cake. Yes. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. This is a beautifully, nicely firm cake. Now, guys, this cake is not light cake. This cake is nice and buttery and chocolatey. Some people like it. Some people prefer more lighter cake. So it's up to you. Try to make it and then give us your feedback. Thank you. And one more. And here we go. Oh. Can you see the layers, guys? I think you can definitely see beautiful, nice layers of the cream and the sponge. Yes, and this was all about the salted caramel layered cake. I hope, guys, you liked this session and you enjoyed, and I hope to see some pictures of your cakes, some questions, some comments. And now, thank you very much. I'm going to give hand over to Miss Shanaz, and definitely we'll see you next Thursday. And guess what I'm going to make for next Thursday? I'm going to make some, should I tell you or should I wait for Thursday? Okay, the people who love chocolate, stay with us for next Thursday. Okay, thank you very much, guys, and see you soon. Miss Shanaz, so hand over to you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Maya. As always, you make it look so simple. And unlike our viewers, we do need to worry about the calories, because that's what's going to happen soon after the webinar. And I do encourage all of you to try out this recipe and hone your skills. And some of you want to know where you want to. And another secret, once you've tried the recipe, feed it to your neighbor or sell it, but don't try to eat it yourself. I'm telling you this from personal experience, that it's way too difficult to get the cake off at the gym. And Carol, please tell them how they should tag the picture, because that's been a question on the chat. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye and sign off.
Well, thank you for that, Chef Maya and Shanaz. Fantastic session. Just earlier this week, I know I had to try this cake when it was being prepared, and I like the distinct flavors of the salted caramel and the walnut as well. Just beautiful blend of flavors. And for those who have joined us a little late, an email will soon follow with a replay video of this webinar together with the handout as well. Lastly, of course, we encourage you to recreate this cake and share them on your social media platforms by tagging at ICCA Dubai, and we'll have them reshared on our platforms as well. Until then, we look forward to seeing you in the next session. Yeah, until then, goodbye from all of us here.